What up, Internet? Gigs here. Actually, by the way, follow me on Twitter. I am at DFTBAPaul, if you feel like it. If not, I don't care. Also, in case anybody from Firefall actually watches this, I am Lord Dorkface, and I was on the recent Firefall Live. So, I've decided not to review this game. The original plan was to do a review, and I've decided against it. Instead, I'm basically just doing shameless promotion. So I've reviewed several video games, thought about reviewing this one, wanted to play it enough to where I could do a good review of it, and then basically just got sidetracked playing the game and have never made a video for it yet. So obviously, as mentioned before, I'm doing talking about the video game Firefall. Now, Firefall is a sci-fi MMORPG, and as it stands, because it's actually getting ready to go through a lot of changes, the changes are going to make it easier for new players. I'll do a little bit of explanation about that, but predominantly I'm going to be talking about the game as it is right now. You get one character currently. That's one of the things that they're planning on changing, but that character can play in any of they're called battle frames, and I have two at max level, and I have one that I'm working towards getting into max level. Max level, by the way, is 40. After that, it's kind of a gear game, just like any other game. You're going to want to raise your power rating by getting, epic quality gear and equipping it in epic quality mods for that gear. Pretty standard when it comes to MMORPG, advancement on that. What is kind of different is the only thing that the things that you change are primary weapon, secondary weapon mods on all of those, and your battle frame core, which is a little round object that you find every now and then, and it's the power core of your battle armor, and each one will have a different ability. Some of them do energy regen, some of them do health regen, some of them do partial shielding, things of that nature. The standards, they have a healing class, it's called Biotech. They have an engineer class, which deploys turrets. They have an assault class, which is a good blend of high damage and high mobility. They have, my personal favorite is the Dreadnought. It's kind of the tank of the game. It's, heavily armored, and it's kind of slow moving, but actually does a lot of damage for a tank, in my opinion, even the regular Dreadnought. The Rhino, which is the DPS build of the tank, that's each subclass has like different expansions on it, so to speak. Right now, you buy them by getting a frame to level 40. You're rewarded 10 pilot tokens, an advanced frame, which you can buy on the market with credits, which is one of the in-game currencies, but you can also just straight up buy it with 10 pilot tokens. That's the way they do it now. In the new advancement, what they're going to do is you're going to start off on a standard frame. At level 20, you'll be able to level it up to a tier 2 frame, and at level 40 or somewhere, you'll be able to level it up to the third tier frames, the high-end frames. But yeah, it's fucking fantastic. I have an assault, a max level assault, and max level dreadnought, and I'm leveling up my Rhino. The Rhino is kind of the DPS tank build. They also have a Mammoth, which isn't as good DPS as the Rhino, but can take a whole lot more damage and draws a lot more aggro. That one's really the more true tank of the game, in my opinion. But long story short, it's set in the future. It kind of reminds me of Battlestar Galactica. I mentioned that on Firefall Live today, actually, in that it's set on Earth. It's set, generally in South America. There's like alien bugs everywhere, which is why it reminds me of Starship Troopers. And you get to run around and kill a lot of alien bugs as just regular mobs. The main bad guy in the game is actually a group of people called the Chosen. Basically, the world was covered in this mysterious, like almost alien substance called the melding. And the melding destroyed a lot of things. However, it corrupted a lot of people and turned them into the Chosen. And being the ones that they're the Chosen because they're the ones that were able to survive the melding. And the Chosen is this super evil army that has super awesome tech that comes from melding. They have several different types of bad guys that they can deploy, including some really high-end fucking mobs. Damn near many bosses just running around the world, like the Executioners. When you get into the highest level area, which is called Devil's Tusk, you go to Devil's Tusk, then frequently just up on your HUD, your heads-up display, will pop up. You've been targeted by a chosen death squad, and a chosen death squad is an executioner, which, like I said, is basically a mini boss. He'll have a couple shock troopers with him, which carry kind of plasma cannons, grenade launcher type deals. He'll have snipers with him that are going to back up with high-powered sniper rifles and blast you that way, and basic grunts. I can't remember the name of the basic grunt creature, but it's like a group of 8 or 9 mobs, including one mini boss, coming after you in open world. Like this is just some shit that goes down, and you beat it. You'll basically accomplish a mission by beating it. Those are quests that you don't have to pick up. You pick up the quest by being targeted, and if you kill the death squad, you get the experience points and the rewards for it. There's job boards in every town that you can go to for basic quests. There's also missions which show up on your map as a little purple, like Spartan, Roman, Trojan style helmet. And different things will be going down at those. Sometimes they're bandit camps where there's a bunch of tents, and you have to kill all the bandits, kill the bandit leader. Then you'll get a key from the bandit leader and be able to open their caches and get stuff and money from them. A lot of people actually stick just to the missions and avoid the job board altogether. But the job boards are actually kind of important, because the job boards are how you build up what's called reputation, and the better your reputation is in any given area, the better rewards you're able to buy from that area. Like, they have stores in there, and if you have max reputation, you can buy everything in the store. But the different reputation levels determine what you can buy. There's also instances, things, dungeons, whatever you want to call them, things that take place off of the main map, and you have to queue up to get to these. Well, not queue up, you actually just get your team together, and your team leader goes to either an ARC folder, which is a transportation device, or a jump ship, which is obviously another type of transportation device. When you're doing the regular missions, you can access them all by a jump ship that's in the main map, the first map, not the main map. So, like, I think they have like 8 of those. You can do all those on regular difficulty, which is how you do them to advance the storyline. And then later, as you hit level 40, you can go back and do them all on hardcore. On hardcore, they're higher difficulty, higher reward. One thing that they did on one of the particular instances that I really liked was their first operation. Was called Operation Miru, and when you go into Operation Miru, you start off in a big battle where you walk up and there's a big fight between the bugs, which are called the Aranya, and the Chosen. And you go in and you basically choose a side, and you take out, so if you choose the bug side, then you take out more Chosen than anything. If you choose the Chosen side, then you take out more bugs than anything. And you influence the tide of battle to where one side wins. And then if you went bug side, then you end up going down some tunnels that are taken over by Aranya, and there's a mission to do over there. If you go Chosen side, then you go down through a base that's controlled by the Chosen, and you have missions to do there. So it's kind of cool. It's there's actually 2 directions that you can go with separate rewards on one instance, and I think that's really freaking cool. So I think that's as much as I want to talk about the game, because I can go on and on and on for hours about how, the different aspects of the game and what's awesome about it. The other reason, though, that I really think that everybody should start playing Firefall, if you're an mmorpg gamer, other than the fact that obviously, like everything else I play, it's free to play. It does have a good cash shop. You can buy these things called red beans. You can trade red beans for credits, which is the currency that's used in the market or the auction house, if you're just familiar with other games. Or there's a red bean store where you can buy things directly from red beans. But other than the fact that it's free to play, is the simple fact that I've never seen a dev team interact with their community as much or as often, or in a way that these guys do. First off, on Twitter, I tweet to @Firefall pretty often. They favorite all the tweets that I mention in them. They've actually tweeted me back. They follow me back. You can present. I've seen people ask them questions on Twitter, and the dev team will, come up with an answer and answer you back on Twitter. They're super active on their own forums. They do a fucking weekly show. It's called Firefall Live. It's at their Twitch channel, the Red 5 Studios Twitch channel, and every Friday at 10 o'clock California time, 1 o'clock my time. They do approximately an hour show, and it starts off with them telling you anything that's coming up in the week. If they're doing a promotional weekend, like an extra experience points weekend, or an extra, reputation weekend, they announce it on Firefall Live. They tell you about any big changes that are coming up to the game. It's how I know everything that they're currently working on now, with the creating alts and different style of level progression and a different way to get your advanced frames. During that show, about halfway through, they go into a call-in section where they open up a TeamSpeak, and you just join the TeamSpeak. They'll pull you down into their channel. If you have a question or a comment about the game, you ask them right there. They answer it. If they don't know how to answer it, those particular devs, they will generally get back to it and make it a forum discussion. Hardcore interaction. I've never seen somebody do an actual show that I can sit down and watch and find out what's going on in my game. So there's no reason, in my opinion, not to play Firefall. You should definitely download and get it. It's available on Steam. It's a fantastic time. If you get in there and you want to be friends, I'm Lord Dorkface in the game. Also, the army that I'm in the game is pretty phenomenal. We actually have to have 4 or 5 armies to hold all of our members, because the army size is kind of small right now. They're working on that. So yeah, hit me up. Maybe I can get you added. Peace out.